Hello, everyone. Happy new moon in Leo. Oh my gosh, you all. I have been waiting for this date for really over a month. I love the zodiac sign of Leo. It is all about self expression, just being who you are, not caring what the world thinks. It is all about children and romance and just so many good things in life that we really enjoy. And to be honest with you all, this reading, I don't like using words like scary or I don't know, anything that comes with just so much negative vibe. But today when I pulled the cards, I was very much taken back. First off, obviously I pulled the cards before I did the video, right? Because I wanted to pull from different decks and it just takes too long. Like each one of these cards comes from a different deck. And so I'm just like, you know what? I wasn't going to pull them over until basically I came on camera. Like I was just going to pull them, on the side to where I can't see what it is. And then when I came on camera, I was just going to turn them around with you all. And I didn't do that. Last minute, I'm like, well, what are they? I was just curious. I couldn't wait. And when I saw the cards, I was instantly taken back. For one, the King of Wands actually caught my attention first. Why? Huge lion in the back. Obviously, the King of Wands is dealing with Leo, Aries, Sagittarius, and we have a new moon in Leo. So I was like, oh, okay, spirit acting up today. So I was like, already like anticipating the day, and then to get cards that just fall in flow with each other. I'm not gonna lie, it was a little scary. It was kind of like, whoa. And it was so meaningful to me and what is going on in my life too, because I'm making a lot of changes. I'm taking a lot of risk. So when I saw this spread, I was like, okay, I'm not the only one. So let's get into the reading, okay? We have take risk, and as you see, you have the mountain goat, which Capricorn, I believe, used to be represented by the sea goat. I could be wrong. Don't quote me, but I'm almost sure it did. And of course, the goat, regardless, it's a goat. Take risk. Love it. I'll talk about this message. King of Wands, right out the deck. Grand Cross Provoker, and we also have the Justice card. Now, what I felt was a push. Literally, I felt like, that friend that's like, get out there and sing. Get out there and say it. Not in a bullying type of way. It could come across like that, but it's not really. It felt like a push from spirit to do what you want to do, regardless of what the world is trying to paint you to believe, and at an even higher level. So let's get into the reading. And we're going to start with take risk. And you'll see how this whole reading kind of just comes together. So, risks are personal to each of us. To some, climbing a mountain doesn't feel risky. To others, having a conversation with a stranger does. What has been calling you that you've been too afraid to do? Comfort kills growth. It is important that we regularly do things that push the envelope to make us feel nervous, apprehensive, and uneasy, with an exception of physical danger. This card is asking you to take the plunge and do the thing that intimidates you. Trust that the next trust that the net will appear after you jump. Now, this is also associated with the mountain goat, which I talked about before, which teaches us about challenges and taking risk, and it just ultimately gets you to where you want to be if you take that brave risk. Now, it's also associated with stinging nettle. And stinging nettle is, first off, very nettle is one of my favorite plants. So it was also kind of like, whoa. And nettle is one of those plants to where when you touch it, it will sting you. Like it lets off something in the plant when you touch it to kind of like prick you, and then, obviously hurt you. It irritates the attacker, whatever fluid comes out of the plant. But like it says, if you're willing to take the risk and harvest this plant, it's an amazing medicine. So anyway, it kind of guides us out of the fog, and it kind of makes life more invigorating. So I really, really like this plant a lot. And it teaches us that once we get past the initial discomfort, the risk will be incredibly nourishing. Okay, so I love that. Now it's also associated with fire agate, which I like that the word fire even came up, because obviously Leo is a fire sign. So fire agate helps restore a lust for life. Well, I just told you Leo is all about this romance and inspiration. And so this is a stone that all of us can look into. Actually, I'm mad my spiritual store is closed on oh, you know what? Hold on, wait a minute. My spiritual store is open tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, I will be going to find me a piece of fire agate. So that's the stone that's associated with this. So beautiful, beautiful energy. I love that. Now, moving forward, we have the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is that dad, that father that just wants you to do what you love. He's the type of father who, even if you want to be a singer or a writer or a dancer or entrepreneur, he supports you. Okay, whether it's a husband, a father, a brother, a cousin, whatever, it's this masculine energy that wants to push you, that, doesn't want you to believe that life is this easy thing to go through, but really wants you to believe in yourself at a deep level. So this is great because we have that passion. What if you meet somebody today, wouldn't mind running into the King of Wands? Okay. Now we also have Grand Provoker, the Grand Cross, and it says life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all, and that's a quote from Helen Keller. Which, obviously, she was a person who, if you don't know, she took many risks in her life, had so many different, I can't think of the word, so many challenges against her within her life, and she broke past all of those. So whenever the Grand Cross comes up, it talks about tension, okay? But it's great for movement and change, okay? So this, to even get this card, is very rare because it's basically four planets that cause something called a grand square, okay? So doesn't happen often. So this day is not a day that we can expect to just come along again. All right. Now, through this opposition, tension, and restriction, you can ultimately exceed any limitations in your path. I'm so sorry. This is one of the most rare and intense aspects of them all. So sometimes when this comes up, it's related to the four seasons, the equinoxes and the solstice. So it pulls you in four different directions. And it can seem almost like there's this crisis going on within your life. But throughout this crisis, you eventually get the foundation and happiness that you're looking for. It can feel competitive, it can feel frustrating, but ultimately it teaches you to trust yourself and trust the experience. So these are some of the questions you can ask yourself. How are you communicating? Are you communicating as well as you should? Are you abandoning a worthy project the minute it loses its shine in an effort to capture a larger, glossier prize? So deep. How often do I want to do this and I want to get into that, and fire signs are good for that, getting all fired up. And as soon as it loses its pizzazz, yeah, I'm on to the next thing. You can't do that because you ultimately don't get to where you want to be. And it can be hard because you can feel like there are multiple things on the table or multiple talents that you have, but you have to focus and organize with this energy. And if you focus and organize, even if it is numerous paths that you can take, Spirit is saying, yeah, all of them lead you in the right direction, but it doesn't feel like that. But you have to take a risk and follow one. Okay, so that is what that card is about. Beautiful energy. And then we have justice, and justice is just truth. It's like, look, what you see today is the truth. The facts are there. Even some of the things, believe it or not, that you hear in the news will probably be facts. I just heard something that was horrible. I haven't done my research in it, but I don't want to say the name, but it basically is a word for people who don't have a limitation on the age that they date. And they were saying that allegedly it's this certain people are trying to pass certain things, certain laws to make it okay to be in an entanglement with a child as young as 4 years old. Now, don't quote me. I have not done my research, so don't attack me in the comments. But I'm just saying, sick things like that happen. I was watching this anime called, I think, The Promise to Neverland. Oh my gosh, you should watch that if you get some time. It's a little intense and a bit dark, but man, does it talk about some of these crazy, I guess you can say, conspiracies that we don't quite know are conspiracies, but they really, it kind of makes a cartoon of this. So what I'm getting at is, the truth will always set you free. When you speak your truth, when you live your truth, and I'm not saying get caught up in all of this dark nastiness of the world, but the better person you are, the better person you can be to someone else. And the better you are and the life that you live can ultimately be what liberates the little man or the little person who was hurt, or an orphan who didn't have a way. So I'm really big on that. The more we focus on us, the more powerful we become, and the more influence we can have on other people in order to help them on their path. So find your inspiration. I love this vibe. I'm so very blessed today, and I hope that you have a good one. Happy new moon in Leo, and I'll talk to you later.